Its Civil Defense Emergency Operating Center is manned by nearly 200 people, representing all the city's emergency services. Near dusk, Mayor Victor Skiro comes down the stairs to hear disturbing news.
So, please, be advised, an extremely dangerous Betsy is headed toward New Orleans. Serious flooding may occur just south of Lake Pontchartrain in Germany.
As tensions between the United States and Russia rose in the late 40s, the need for an established government was critical in the event of a nuclear war. With the Cold War becoming an ever-growing concern for American citizens, nuclear fallout shelters were built all across America. New Orleans was a prime candidate for a nuclear attack due to its ports, as well as several oil and gas refineries located in and around New Orleans during the height of the Cold War. Act 38 was signed into effect in 1950 by Louisiana State Legislature for the creation of a civil defense agency which gave local governments the ability to prepare for foreign attacks or natural disasters. Ordinance 18314 CCS in 1952 confirmed the establishment of the Office of Civil Defense in New Orleans. This allowed the city of New Orleans to carry out all emergency measures with the exception of military to preserve the local government. Design plans for the Civil Defense Control Center began in the late 50s. Construction started in 1960. The architect behind this facility was Wayne Stoffel. The bunker was completed by 1961 and opened in 1962. The total cost of the bunker was around $500,000. The two-story facility was built underground with roughly 4 feet of dirt on top of it to prevent the facility from coming out of the ground due to the low sea level of New Orleans. The control center of the bunker was built around 14 feet below the ground for the best possible protection of that part of the facility. Even with all these precautions, the facility would only survive a nuclear blast 3 or more miles away. 76 air raid sirens were installed around the city to warn of an attack. You'll see a few of these large yellow sirens stored in the bunker to this day. While the bunker was constructed in the early 60s, it wouldn't be until the mid-70s that the facility would be used as the main civil defense headquarters. Until then, preparation classes and disaster exercises would be the bunker's primary purpose, along with being a natural disaster shelter. In the mid-70s, civil defense operations would move completely into the bunker and out of the City Hall of New Orleans. The bunker was built to give the city of New Orleans a base of established government in the event of a nuclear attack or a natural disaster. Thankfully, the city never needed to use the shelter for nuclear purposes. However, it was used for several hurricanes, such as Hurricane Betsy in 1965. Despite renovation in the early 80s, the facility was starting to show its age by the late 1980s, and it was abandoned shortly after in the early 90s. As you can see in the video, the first level of the facility is flooded out. Some people believe it was due to hurricanes, but as you can see from this image, during Katrina, the bunker was the only thing poking out of the water during the flood in that area. When the Regent's Bank on Robert E. Lee was built, the Pillings cracked the large well that fed the water supply to the bunker, and as a result it flooded. It would have costed around $77,000 to dig a new well, but the city didn't go for it, and they wanted to abandon the property. The bunker had slightly flooded a time or two during hurricanes, but the water was always pumped out, something that wouldn't happen after abandonment. After the bunker was abandoned, civil defense and emergency operations would move back into City Hall. The Cold War ended in 1991 with the fall of the Soviet Union. The threat for nuclear attack massively declined as the U.S.S.R. did. Abandoned facilities like this one sit all over America. This is just an example of America's response to the Red Scare. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be looking forward to seeing you on the next one. We apologize for our recent absence, but we've been so busy helping our friends release their content that we haven't really had time for our own. We should be releasing more videos in the near future, but until then, stay safe out there.
So these are maps, possibly of the city. There's just a bunch of old radio equipment here. Well, this here is just natural decay. There's hardly any graffiti in here because who the hell would want to come down here? Why is it in every abandoned building or complex or bunker or whatever, there's always Christmas stuff? Only thing that be protected from fallout now is just all the roaches. This is so... I'm sorry about the quality of this. I know this can't be very appetizing, but the whole thing about this is just the fact that John and I are literally waist deep in water that we can't see in. I bet this is probably where the diesel comes from, because in the event that you lose... See, check this out. See this filter tunnel for non-atomic attack. Air filter for the diesel generator.
That's where the diesel smell's coming from.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Which we just better hope that the diesel smell, or the diesel itself, hopefully that's killing all the bacteria through here. We're so invested at this point. Like, there's simply no way that we can turn around. Yeah, I'm back like in a circle. I bet this middle part here is probably the other war room. This room is really cool. Yep, I've seen so many pictures of this place. It's so crazy to finally be here. I've been trying to get in here for a really long time, and now I'm finally doing it. The acoustics I'm scaring myself. I'd love to go through those. Oh, I'm glad that didn't happen while I was in the water. That would have been terrible. with these glass doors.
God damn, that's fucking heavy. Holy shit.